Hello everyone, Tony here bringing you a new Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile video. Today we're going to be looking at an updated Labrynth list. Now, there are still some cards I'm waiting for to kind of fix my extra deck specifically because there's 3 cards that are going out coming in. But for the most part, the deck functions the way that I want to. Now, one thing that I've kind of noticed about Labrynth that I come to appreciate is that I don't think there's a 100% set way of playing this deck. I know a lot of people have like preferences and stuff like that, and realistically, you should adjust this deck to your meta, your local meta anyway. And when you go to like bigger events, just try to like pay attention to like tournament reports and stuff like that. And the most important thing is finding a way to play this deck that you're comfortable with. Because there's some people that might like playing only 2 big welcome labyrinths or 2 welcome labyrinths or 2 Ariana. This is like the deck should only be used to give you inspiration, and then from there you edit it to tailor make it for yourself, so that way it just feels more natural, more organic, right? So I'm gonna get into the list. I want to make this profile pretty quick because my last few videos have kind of gone longer than I thought, so let's just get into it. First, monsters: 3 Arianas, 1 lovely, 3 silvers, regular lady package basically. I kind of was trying Ariana at 2 at one point in time, but then I swapped it to, I reverted it back to 3 because realistically, I just want to be able to search out all my stuff that I'm looking for. Again, it's for comfort. If you're comfortable playing 2, then go for it. My new favorite addition to this deck is 2 Lord of the Heavenly Prisons. Paired with Temple of the Kings, this card acts as a pseudo trap trick in a sense, without having to banish a card from your deck, provided it requires a little bit more of a setup. And the beauty of this card is that it plays like under skill drain. So while you have it in your hand, you can reveal it. Your opponent can't destroy set cards. And when you activate a set trap card or spell card, you can special summon it from the hand, and then if you special summon them in that way, you can search your deck for trap card, and well, in this deck specifically you want a trap card and then set it, so you just kind of use them to search for what you feel like is necessary for your situation. And he's a big body, 3,000, and if you play skill drain or you side skill drain like I do, he's a big problem for them to have to get over. Now I play 6 pot cards. I played 3 potted dualities and prosperity. I was playing Extravagance for a while until I switched to Lord the Heavenly Prison, and I just essentially wanted to make it so I'm looking exactly for what I want for whatever situation I'm dealing with or how I'm trying to set up. So I just felt like pot of Prosperity over Extravagance right now might be a little better, and Duality kind of helps you further set up your plays. Last 2 spell cards: 1 Labrynth, 1 Temple of the Kings. This card still gets a lot of attention from your opponent, even though you're only playing it at 1. And it's important for them to do that because, like, all your trap cards gain a beneficial effect. Your normal trap cards gain a bonus effect based off of, like, what it is. So if you activate a welcome Labyrinth normal trap, you can destroy 1 card in the field. If it's a regular normal trap, you can special summon 1 fiend from your hand or graveyard. So this card garners a lot of attention, even though we only play it at 1. And if your opponent leaves it there, you're just going to be reaping the benefits the whole time. So I completely understand why they would be targeting that card. So trap cards now. I play 1 trap trick. Trap trick just essentially lets you search for a proper response to whatever turn you're going for. Or maybe you're going for a particular setup, or you just want to have something there. Trap trick helps you get access to that card immediately. I play a single copy of Destructive Daruma Karma Cannon. This helps you deal with link monsters as well as monsters that are unaffected by card effects, because the game forces your opponents to send those cards to the graveyard. It's also a nice way to protect yourself from Nibiru if you wind up in that situation, and it helps you match up against Kashtira, provided you're able to deal with them while they're face down. 2 Terrors of the Overroot. This card is meant to be disruptive. You essentially would use this while your opponent is trying to combo, and you might set a card face down from their graveyard that they can only use once per turn. They use that turn already. It's become a little more of a favorite for me. I was gonna try Ghastly Glitch over this, or at least citing Ghastly Glitch. I'm still not sure, but right now Terra's Overroot is doing what I wanted to. Two, Dogmatic of Punishment. I'm probably gonna bump this to 3 at some point. Your extra deck is full of monsters that you're not gonna need. That's why we kind of use Pot of Prosperity. With the exception of like Link Rebo to deal with Ibly or Ibly or however you pronounce it. But it's a good way to get multiple cards off the field or benefit off of destroying cards in the field, whether you're sending Garura to the graveyard or you're sending Ensis to the graveyard. You get a nice benefit of clearing some space as well as gaining an extra benefit. Two-dimensional barriers. This helps automatically give you an advantage in certain matchups, whether it's Despia or Kashtera. And being searchable in this deck with all the access points that we have is pretty useful. 2 goes in matches. Every monster that I play in this deck is dark, and this helps you automatically disrupt Kashtera. It's nice to not have to, deal with Tailorment in the sense where this card would be less effective. Kashtera will have a hard time with this, and depending on the situation when it comes to Despia, if they're going into Lubellion, you can completely block them out of like using dark types with this. But even then, that like against Despia, it's a little different. The Labrynth cards, 3 welcomes, 3 big welcomes. So I know people have been dialing back the use of welcome, but I still again like access to like what I want because that's kind of how I play this deck. Just being able to special summon your fiend monsters, specifically your Labrynth fiend monsters from your deck is really important. And this being able to banish itself from graveyard to remove a problematic card, like let's say your opponent has a Dekasenko on the field, or if they just have a skill drain, or you have skill drain, you can use this and bounce it back. 3 compulsories. This card is probably the only card that I feel in this deck is an absolute must of 3 when it comes to trap cards. It's just a free thing. You can bounce one of your opponent's combo pieces out. You can bounce one of your cards. You can bounce a problem card, like if you're dealing with Sharagigra or whatever its name is. It's just a great way to deal with whatever you might need. Last 4 cards: 2 Wave Bridges, and then 2 Wave Bridges and 2 Evenly Matches. So I know people favor Evenly Match a little bit, but I really like Wave Bridge. I could probably drop this one and just play these at 3. And one thing I've kind of started doing too is just setting Evenly Match, because Evenly Match with like your field card is kind of cool, right? Like especially if your opponent's like at an advantage and they're able to clear your board, and then you just evenly match. Then your opponent banishes whatever they do, and you get your a monster back with the field card. So, granted, most of the time you're just going to use it when you go second to enter battle phase, drop this, and then play your turn, and then kind of set up for the next thing. But evenly match really evens the playing field, so to speak, with the ability to kind of cut down your opponent's big boards. Extra deck and side deck. Let me separate these. So it's 1 Garura, 1 Fossil Warrior, and 3 Ensis. One of these Ensis will be coming out for a second Garura. These are Dogmatic of Punishment targets. 1 Side Frame Omega. This is another Dogmatic punishment target. 1 Babushka. I don't really summon this card often. Like if I ever do, it's extremely rare. 1 Dingirsu, yeah. You can exceed this with 2 of your ladies and get rid of a problematic card. And it has a built-in protection, which is nice. This is a Dogmatic punishment target. These 2 cards will be coming out for another Link Rebo and a Trine Brigade Arms Bucephalus, I believe his name is. For now, they do the job of just being able to like blow stuff from the field. And they do link to McCracken, which gives you an additional card as well. Speaking of McCracken, we're playing 1 McCracker, I'm sorry. We play 1 copy of her. She helps you get around Dekasenko 2 in a sense where if your opponent has that on the field, chances are they have no card set. So you summon like Ariana, for example, Search Lady, Special Summon Lady, link it to McCracker, then you special summon Lady with McCracker's effect, and then run over Dekasenko. It's one of the few outs that we have naturally in the deck without having to like think about the card too much. And then the last 2 cards are Link Rebo and Trine Brigade Arms Bucephalus, whatever. This is to get rid of Ibly off your board, and this is gonna be sent to the graveyard instead of Garura, so that way You can get rid of bigger problems. It has 3,500 attack, and when it's sent to the graveyard, you can send a card from your extra deck or main deck to the graveyard, but you can always send something from the extra deck unless you really need something from the main deck. So that's the main and extra deck. I'm gonna show you the side deck. Side deck is still a work in progress, but it's been useful so far. So I do play one Invader of Darkness for the rare Runic matchup. This is why I want to probably main deck Ghastly Glitch, so I can send this to the graveyard with it and then res it with the field card. But yeah, while he's on the field, your opponent can't play quick plays, so that's always nice. 3 Spear modes, because Kashtira likes to leave their board on 3. Some Kashtiras are starting to play where, starting to upgrade their play where they're trying to actively avoid this. In that case, if your meta's like that, you just switch this with Lava Golem and you get the same results. 3 Chaos Hunters, because it still deals with Kashtira and it's a Fiend monster. And as soon as they summon like Fenrir, you can special summon this, and now your opponent can't manage some of your stuff. And if they go first, they don't really have a way of getting rid of this off your board, so it's nice. 3 Skill Drains. This is for like a general matchup. It does really well against Kashtira. And certain Despia plays also get interrupted by this, you know, but they can still put really big bodies on boards. I know people main deck this card. I don't want to fill my deck up with too many floodgates, so I side the floodgates and kind of deal with the situation as they come along. 2 Rivalry of Warlords. This kind of is starting to fall out of place a little bit. Certain decks still do get affected by this, but not like in a crazy amount. Especially with Kashtira kind of just being mostly, if not all, I'm pretty sure all of them are psychic monsters, so that card might come out too. And then 3 Solemns. If you go first, this is the best way to kind of shut down your opponent's plays. It's weird just hiding Solemn Judgment, but it also doesn't feel like you need to main deck this. I do miss playing Solemn Strike, so I might play 3 Solemn Strikes in the deck naturally and then swap it out for Solemn Judgment if I wind up going first. If I, like, you know, to protect my plays and stuff and to stop my opponent from putting down, like, you know, God boards. So that's the deck profile so far. This deck is definitely going to be changing from time to time, and it's a really fun deck to play. It feels really rewarding to be able to kind of like put together this deck and just control the game state the way that it does, because the deck is so nicely constructed. So yeah, that's the deck profile. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave any comments if you guys have any suggestions or any questions, and I'll see you guys in the next one.